Good morning, Kitchissippi. It is March the 19th, an unreasonably cold Saturday morning. This is the 44th version of the Kitchissippi Ward newsletter. If you're not subscribed to the print version, I'd encourage you to do so at kitchissippiward.ca. A lot to get into this morning with the newsletter that I published last night, so we'll jump into it. First off in the newsletter, the proposed commemorative renaming of Somerset Square Park for Sean Little, our former city councillor, has been withdrawn by the Hintonburg Community Association and Hintonburg Economic Development Committee. After some conversations with the Wellington West BIA, it was determined that Somerset Square Park has value as a wayfinding name, a landmark in the neighborhood, and there may be other ways to commemorate Sean's service to this ward. So that application has been withdrawn. If anything new comes forward, I'll be sure to let residents know. Also in the newsletter this week, the big news is that Main and Main, the developer that owns the recently designated Heritage gas station at the corner of Island Park and Richmond Road, has applied for a drive-through at that location. The developer tells me that they are thinking about having a high-end national coffee shop in there. I suspect that if you hazard a guess as to who that is, you'd be right. A drive-through is, I've heard from many of you, and I personally believe very, very strongly myself, a completely inappropriate use for that corner. Our traditional main streets, by official plan, are not supposed to have drive-throughs on them. I believe that in order to accomplish this, the developer should be applying for a official plan amendment. I've had a number of conversations internally at City Hall. For the moment, I am confident that the proposal is not going to get political or staff support. I'll be letting residents know in the near future how they can help with that effort. Also this morning, there is a confirmed location now. The buildings behind me, 55 and 59 Brothers Avenue, have been proposed by John Howard Society as transitional housing for those who have been at risk or currently are homeless. That has raised a lot of questions in the community. There's a link in the newsletter to a frequently asked questions blog post that I put up recently. There will be a public meeting on April the 11th from 7 till 9 at the La Roche Park Fieldhouse. That fieldhouse is just a block over or so on Stonehurst between Burnside and Lyndale. Also this morning, I wanted to briefly update about the Spencer Street rebuild. Your notes have helped. I think residents are aware that a Spencer Avenue between Holland and Western is going to be completely rehabilitated this summer. We've had some success in getting staff to take a look at some things like speed humps. I have to host a separate consultation on that, bulb out some intersection narrowings. We continue to get some resistance to more aggressive interventions around pedestrian and cyclist safety, but I've had some great conversations this week with staff. I have some higher level meetings next week. I'm looking forward to updating you on that as we go. Quick note, the pop-up that I had scheduled for March 24th due to a new conflict is now rescheduled to March the 30th. That's going to be held from 1 until 4, again at Simply Biscotti in Westboro. A little later today, I'll be participating in the first of 4 consultation sessions on the Rosemount Library and its future. I and the Rosemount Expansion and Development Group are co-hosting consultations about that. The first one occurs this morning. It is one of 2 similar sessions. The next one is going to be held Tuesday night. There's a link to more information in the newsletter. Once we have some early consultations under our belt, my facilitator is going to take that back, talk to library about what is viable, and we'll host a second round of consultations. I'm very pleased to say that thanks to the help of Dovercourt Recreation Association, we do have childcare available for all 4 sessions. Take a look at the newsletter for more information. Another quick note, just a reminder, on March the 30th, link in the newsletter, we're going to have another open house with respect to the Kitchissippi parking strategy. Come on out and take a look at that. I know some of you have been writing to me recently about things like time limits. That's all within the scope of the study. Looking forward to updating residents on where we are with that. Also, McCrae Avenue at Scott. I think many of you know that there was a new development that was put in by Bridgeport and Broccolini on the east side of McCrae. They're looking at now putting in a second phase of that, a 19-story tower, a second tower that would be a little lower, and then a number of 4-story residential units on McCrae. We just got the heads up this week that the application has been formally put into the city. It's not live online yet, but I will send out a link when that's available. We had a good open house a few weeks ago about that, and I'm looking forward to chatting more with residents and getting their feedback in the coming weeks. Another quick note, the NCC is hosting a consultation on the future of the Sir John A. Macdonald Linear Park. That's going to be held on March the 23rd downtown. I think a number of you may recall the official plan amendment that had been proposed and then sort of withdrawn or put on pause to carve Rochester Field area up into some developable and non-developable parkland. This consultation on the Sir John A. Macdonald Linear Park is going to help the NCC create a vision for what it wants that park to be. Once it has a better idea of what that's going to look like, that official plan amendment should be put back on the table. Big week ahead this week at City Hall. March break is over and things have gotten busy again. Two key pieces for us. On Monday, I'll be attending the Community and Protective Services Committee, where we're going to be debating a ban on the sale of pets from commercial sources in local pet stores. There is a staff proposal out right now that would see 3 stores currently selling dogs and cats from commercial sources grandfathered so that they would be able to continue to do so. I've heard from a great number of you, and my own commitment was to seek a full and total ban. Thanks to a colleague, I don't sit on the committee, but thanks to a colleague, I'll be putting forward a motion that would see a full ban as an alternative to the staff proposal. I have reason to believe that some other councillors will be bringing some other compromise motions as well. And of course, on Tuesday, we have City Council. Sorry, that would probably be Wednesday. We have City Council, where Councillor Brockington's proposal to ask the province for permission to use photo radar will be debated by Council. I'm on record as saying I fully support that. I don't believe that police have the resources necessary to enforce our speeding rules that are the source of so much discomfort when they're broken through the ward. I hope everyone has a great week. We're back into the swing of things. As always, give me a call or write if you have any questions or concerns. And if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, again, that's at kitchissippiward.ca. Quick note as well, thanks to everybody who came out to the campfire that was this week at Winston Square. We held that last Sunday evening. It was a very pleasant evening. We'll do it again.